When I first laid eyes on the Little Mermaid live-action remake movie trailer, the first thing I kept thinking was, why is everything so dark? The colors looked muted, desaturated, and everything looked kinda sad. So in this video, I'm painting a scene from the movie and giving those dreary, sleepy colors the much-needed facelift it needs. And to address the elephant in the room, no, I will not be changing Ariel's skin color. She is fine the way she is. I have now accepted Halle Bailey as my new lord and savior, Ariel of Atlantica, mermaid extraordinaire and obsessive hoarder of utensils. Slay. So let's begin. Hey everyone, it's your girl Amanda, and today I'm going to be using an eclectic mix of art supplies, including watercolor paper, acrylic paint, colored pencil, and ink to make some unsolicited painting movie magic. I decided to go with this still shot of Ariel in her grotto, which I'm guessing happens right around the time she is singing Part of Your World and about to go crash Eric's party boat. This scene is pretty intriguing to me, especially with Halle Bailey's expressive face, but everything else in this scene looks dark and lifeless. Not to mention that disappointment flounder in the corner there, we're not going to talk about that. Even though this movie hasn't been released yet as of the making of this video, it has racked up an impressive hate count and unsolicited anger towards its main fish lady princess in various changes to the beloved story and song lyrics. Which just goes to show that change is hard, especially when Ariel is no longer the pasty white, possibly Danish mermaid of the late 80s cartoon film I grew up with. Nope, this Ariel is different. Her skin color is darker and rich in tone, which makes painting her all the more fun and interesting. I started her off with a purple undertone to set the stage, and, spoiler alert, I had to make adjustments to her skin tone later in the video because I felt I just could not nail that color down the first time. I'm starting off with a little sketch I made before sitting down to film this process, and I'm using transfer paper to quickly get my lines onto the watercolor paper. Then I began to fill in areas of Ariel's head with my 2H pencil, carefully zoning out the 4 billion strands of hair she has and slowly giving myself carpal tunnel. Then once I got my composition fairly planned out, I gathered up my acrylic supplies using my new favorite golden open acrylic paint, which basically means my paint won't dry as fast as normal acrylic, so I can make delicious looking blends and textures that would make doves cry. Oh yeah, they're that good. I used warm and cool variations of the primary colors red, blue, and yellow with lots of white to help lighten my colors and cover up unspeakable crimes. Speaking of which, why paint this version of Ariel and not the animated film version I was obsessed with as a kid and possibly launched my mermaid tween era? Well, I gotta be honest, having seen the trailer for the live-action movie, I am not the most excited about it. The overall mood of the movie seems depressing and dark, which doesn't exactly scream. And if this movie follows the trend of the other live-action Disney films I've seen in the past, it's probably going to be passable at best and a complete facepalm at worst. But can someone explain to me why in God's name they did this to Sebastian? Why? Why? Deep breaths. Deep breaths. But despite the disappointing character design, the questionable CGI, and the overall change to the major aspects of the story, the one character from this movie that seemed to capture the magic of the original film for me is Ariel. Halle Bailey as Ariel has a spunky and confident quality to her, and when she wants something, she goes for it, and I love that about her. And the fact that she looks different from the animated film is actually kind of nice. Like, for example, Ariel's hair. While I was filming this entire painting process, about 35 to 50% of my time was spent on her hair. This version of Ariel has lots of braids, lots and lots and lots of long, flowy, hand-cramping, finger-bleeding hair strands that literally have a life of their own. And call me crazy, but I secretly loved how complicated it was. I had to figure out how each braid starts at the root of her hair and where it interacts with her other braids, all the while making sure that they look like they're floating, weightless underwater. Holy freaking arthritis, Batman. Now, I know Ariel's hair in this version isn't Fire Engine red. Like I mentioned in the title of this video, I'm making changes to the hair color, because in the live-action remake, the hair looks a bit more subdued, orangey brown. It doesn't exactly scream red. So I took some artistic liberties, like the GED corn-eating American I am, and decided to really saturate her hair color and make it more vibrant red. And after icing my hand and crying for a few hours, I decided to do some detail lines to give Ariel a bit more of pop, paying a tiny homage to the original animated princess. And plus, your girl cannot pass up the opportunity to do some pop art. And of course I added some white outlines around her silhouette just to give her more of that pop that I was looking for. As a kid, Ariel was a pivotal role in my life as a 3-year-old. I distinctly remember walking downstairs to the living room in my seashell print pajamas, popping in the VHS, and curling up on the couch to watch Ariel do her thing. And I did this every day for a very long time. And I think a large part of that had to do with the colors. The animated movie is bright and saturated with color, a large part due to the amazing hand-painted backgrounds that made the characters practically pop out of the page. So in an effort to capture that metaphorical lightning in a bottle feeling, I settled on a mint green background, which worked really nicely against the red tones of Ariel's hair, thus putting all of my hard work on display. And here, ladies and gentlemen, was where I decided that Ariel's skin color was just not right. As someone who normally paints lighter toned skin, painting Ariel's skin is definitely a new challenge for me, and I'm not about to play it safe. No. Not with so much on the line. So I decided to check my white privilege and get her skin tone right. After some painting, sorcery, and a prayer to St. Anthony to find my sanity, bada bing bada boom, I finally got a skin color I was really happy with. Now I'm at the point where this painting is slowly exiting the weird ugly stage, where the colors and different tonal values are just not quite there yet, making Ariel look like she had a bad day at Sephora. The important thing is to take a deep breath and keep on swimming. Once I got Ariel's skin color down, blended her highlights, and redid my detail lines, again, I finally breathed a tiny sigh of relief. Ariel's face finally looked so alive, so vibrant with color, practically popping out of the page. This girl is glowing and radiant, framed by her beautiful, gorgeous braids. Oh, right, I almost forgot about the braids. Colored pencil time! I've started to use colored pencil on top of my acrylic paintings to give them that extra bit of texture and added details that I don't have the patience to do with acrylics. So I went in with dark blue and purple to add braid zigzag textures to mimic the texture of her braids. I also added more blue shadows in her hair to give it more depth, dimension, and make it appear as voluptuous as its animated counterpart. And this is my more colorful, vibrant version of the live-action remake of the Little Mermaid scene, featuring Ariel looking radiant and drop-dead gorgeous in this pop art stylized painting. So what do you think of this version? Do you prefer the vibrant colors or the more subdued ones from the live-action movie? Comment below and let me know. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more art shenanigans. See you next time. Bye!